1939 and about 1945, 1946. RUSE is one of those sort of strategy games. I would compare it probably more to StarCraft 2 as opposed to, or StarCraft and StarCraft 2 as opposed to sort of your Medieval 2, your Total War games. So it's very much centered around units countering each other very effectively, and sort of individual unit tactics, as opposed to the grand sort of scale of Medieval 2 Total War, where you have sort of infantry lines and cavalry and different tactics in that regard. The units in RUSE will handle themselves pretty well. There's very little micromanagement needed for it. It's just the macro that you need to worry about, having to think about the units, what they're good against, what they're not good against. And I mean, there is still a lot of micro involved, being able to move units up to a position, a better position, a more advantageous position, as I say, like in StarCraft, where you have certain units that can properly counter the enemy's units, and the whole micromanagement of that. So yeah, it is an interesting game. It's definitely different to ones that I would normally play, and I usually don't like games like StarCraft 2 and these sorts of games, because it requires a lot of micromanagement, in the sense that you need to pit. You need to use the rock paper scissors kind of style of play, whereas Medieval 2 is more about the strategy. Even if you have heavy cavalry against heavy infantry, you actually need to get the charge off, etc., to be effective. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to go into a quick battle and just showcase the there's some of the nations and some of the tactics involved. Just basically give you a feel of how the game works. So we've got six factions here. There is a seventh. There is Japan, but unfortunately I don't have them unlocked. I don't have the DLC or however you get them. So I've just got the 6 factions: the USA, Germany, the United Kingdom, France, Italy, and the USSR. So there are some very diverse factions. Actually, they've got some very unique units and tactics involved with them. I think that's quite good for this game. It allows you to focus on a unit's strength and kind of avoid some of their weaker units. I'm sure I'll go into more detail with the individual factions in a future video, but for now we're going to do a USA versus a Germany battle, hard AI, and we're just going to go into a battle and see what we can do. Both of these factions do have quite a nice unit roster, in that they don't really have any weaknesses anywhere, and the strengths are pretty good across the board. The only difference is the Americans have a nice varied unit roster, but they don't have any particular strength in any area, whereas the Germans have strength in a lot of their units, but their units are very expensive. So you don't want to lose any units as Germany, whereas with America you can afford to, because you can just you kind of mass produce. I think America's good at mass producing quality units, whereas Germany can provide sort of very elite units, but at a very high cost. So we're just going to jump into a battle, and I'll explain how this game works and whether you guys will enjoy playing it, whether it's for you. So this is what the map's going to look like. It's sort of split up into sectors, and you can actually zoom all the way out and look at it as a sort of a war room table. It's a very, very pretty game. Or you could zoom in straight in and actually become part of the battle yourself. It's a very wide scoping game. So we've got our HQ here. It's gonna make us some money every turn. And the other way to make money is to get these supply depots up. So we're gonna set some supply depots on these positions. You can only set them up on those positions and get them out that way. And then we need to get some units up. So these are your unit cards. These allow you to build the different buildings of the game. So we're gonna start with a barracks up, probably up here, so we can get some infantry into the woods, which will give us an advantage. We're gonna use one of our RUSE cards. These are the RUSE cards, and these give you certain bonuses. So we'll just use the Blitz one, which increases our unit speed. So we'll use it on this sector here. So all our units in this sector here are going to be faster, which means all our supply trucks are going to move faster, and our money making trucks are going to be a lot quicker as well. Already looks like we've got some heavy units from the AI coming forward. And no doubt they are probably tanks, so I want to get an anti-tank base up and running, which will help us counter the enemy armor. In fact, what we can actually do is we can actually see what units they are. Yeah, Panzer III tanks. So if we can get this building up as soon as, that would be great. I'm gonna upgrade our infantry and get a scout unit out. These units with this symbol, oh sorry, units with this symbol, should I say, are scouting units, so they can give us a vision on what these units are without us having to use these spy action. And the blued out units are the ones that we are upgrading. So we're gonna get some of these Wolverines out, because we're going to be under serious threat from these tanks, and we're going to upgrade to the Jackson as well.
Tank destroyer ready to strike.
The enemy's hidden his troops. These RUSE cards allow you to hide your troops, etc. Oh yeah. So there's some RUSE cards here that will allow you to hide your troops. So let's get some infantry up. And the Wolverine's going to start to fire now at these tanks coming in. But I don't want to get into range of them.
Receiving report. Our units are under fire. Need some firepower, sir?
That's coming forward very quickly. Let's... Can't really afford to do much anymore.
Just point the line. Go to your new position. Sir, enemy units are refusing to surrender in this sector.
Coming forward with some very heavy firepower here. But what we can do is we can get our infantry to rush forward with fanaticism, which will make them unbreakable. They can start to supply some of these heavy tanks. We're going to really hit these tanks hard. Infantry is very good against tanks in close range. You don't want to fight tanks at close range with infantry. So we're going to be able to push those guys back. Then we've got a couple of tank destroyers here, the Jacksons. Very powerful tank destroyers with decent range. Going to be able to shut down all of these tanks and give us some breathing room. Let's get another one over on this flank.
Unit production in progress.
I'm probably going to rush our infantry up for this town. Towns and forests give your infantry a lot of defense and keep them hidden. In fact, we could probably rush these infantry up.
Reports confirmed. Target destroyed. Unit under fire.
Yeah, he's noticed what we're doing, so he's going to pull into the town and try and hide from us there. But we've got our Jacksons here to put some fire down. So I think it's about time we probably get some tanks.
Reporting
Just
enemy
use
losses.
blitz again to keep these supply trucks moving. The quicker they get to our lines, the better. We should probably get a tank base up and running,
Yes, sir.
just so we can provide our Jacksons with some support.
Target destroyed. Over.
Fixed bayonet. Business looks good, boys.
To destination. Full speed. Sir, it's been confirmed. The enemy has imposed radio silence in this sector.
We're going to push up the Jackson on this side as well. The enemy's got some supply over here, so we're going to want to maybe send some infantry to
Report indicates heavy losses, sir.
take those out.
Rookies are training. They'll be ready soon.
The enemy is trapped. Now finish him. Hammer
Sir,
heavy
intelligence have identified an enemy base.
They won't find you anymore. Need some firepower, sir?
push our own anti-tank up.
Head to the new position, man.
Just points away.
Squad commander, open fire on target.
Reporting you there. Good, boys. Hammer 'em, boys. Get away,
Unit
sir.
under fire.
So what we're trying to do is drive the enemy back and push forward at the same time.
Target destroyed.
So this is the anti-tank base. We can get some armoured recon out, which would be good against these infantry units,
HQ confirms that the enemy has radio blackout in this sector, sir.
as well as maybe upgrading to Sherman tanks. Sherman tanks will provide us with a bit more firepower. They're not excellent units, but yeah, they're not bad either. And with the support of our Jacksons, they will do quite well.
Sir, it's been confirmed. The enemy has imposed radio silence in this sector. Unit reports heavy fire.
Now finish him.
You have your target. Destroy it. Over.
tanks are quite good against heavy infantry or infantry and buildings. Not too great for other tanks, especially the American ones. The American tanks don't seem to be as effective, except for the Pershing heavy tank. I think Super Pershing's over here actually. No, I didn't know where the Super. I'm sure the Super Pershing was somewhere. But yeah, the armor base obviously offers you your tanks, and as I say, they're better for infantry than other tanks, the American ones anyway. The anti-tank base is obviously where they are the most effective against tanks, but they can't fight any other units, so you really have to protect these guys from any other units. Planes, you're good against infantry and tanks, and some of them are actually good against buildings as well, like the heavy bombers. So yeah, if you ever sort of stuck on what faction does what, this page is quite useful for newer players. But yeah, I hope you all sort of enjoyed my first look at RUSE. As I say, with these first looks, I don't seem to do well on the first time I play them, so just bear with me on that. I mean, it was a similar situation with my pike and shot one. I think I lost that battle, which was kind of embarrassing, but it's what happens. I get into a game and just look to have fun, and I hope you enjoy sort of seeing how, for one, how difficult the AI is. I mean, the AI is not a slouch in this game. It will test you, and it's always nice to see how the AI reacts and then sort of try and counter them in that regard. I certainly wouldn't exchange it for online play. Online play is completely different to fighting the AI, but it will at least allow you to test some of your battle strategies without the AI being completely incompetent. So I hope you all enjoyed this first look. I should hopefully be able to get you some games on this but as I say, for me it's just a case of testing out the game, trying out the game, and learning a bit more about it, because it's not a game that I should enjoy. I mean, I do enjoy it, but it's not a game I should be good at, because my micro is horrible and I don't know enough about the game to know the macro of the entire game. So as I say, it's not a game I should be good at, but it's a game that I look forward to playing a bit more of. So thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you all in the next video.